Certainly was just shaping as if he wanted to play a scoop initially.
Yeah, I think it's just coming down now, the dew, that you can see Ahmed there just drying the ball on his jumper. A couple of fielders have just slipped. Might help the pitch as a batter as well, might just skid on nicely.
Oh, Millichampen Hall. Do they still have the little factory right next to the ground, I think, isn't it, where they make the bats there? Marcus Trescothick used to use Millichampen Hall until the big books took him elsewhere. He didn't stay with them very long, did he? Mark Lathwell, yeah, another player who used M&H.
Well, it's worked for him there. First boundary for Abel. Short ball, he's pulled away on the leg side. Should be a wide. He thinks it's a wide. Tim Robinson looked at umpire Debenham and said no. 55 for 2.
Look at absolute astonishment on Riley Russo's face there. He can't believe that the bowler got away with this. And he's probably got good reason for that astonished look. It was Ben Debenham at square leg. Tim Robinson probably could give that without looking at square leg, to be fair, but it was square leg that he was looking to for
How's the win? Hi, sir! Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
Always great to watch in any format. Qais Ahmed, good stats, brilliant in these middle overs when they spread the field a little bit.
Not easy, chilly night, bit of dew falling. Try and warm those fingers up quickly, wrap them around the ball and give it a bit of a tweak if he can.
Good case. Aye. Good case, bye.
Spinners now, even Uris spinner bowls, quite a few into the pitch. They don't toss too many up. It's one thing that's changed in 20 over cricket. I reckon batters' belt spin better nowadays. See, spinners adopted by bowling it shorter.
Big grip here, Case. Big grip.
We'll watch one on Friday who still tosses it up. Mark Parkinson. He doesn't bowl it into the pitch, does he? A rarity, I grant you.
See here,
Run him out,
back
Coxie.
of the
Brilliant,
leg.
boy.
He doesn't have that much variation as well, Parkinson. He doesn't bowl that many wrong-uns. Bowls a few out the front of the hand. There he is, drying that ball, drying that seam. Leggies hate a slippery ball.
Were you surprised that Parkinson wasn't picked for the test match, or not really?
Lord's test match beginning of June. Leg spin.
Take that as a no, you're not surprised.
I don't just want to, pick on just the sort of heart and go with your heart. The mind says at Lord's, June. I'm sure the leg spinner's going to have a massive role.
Tommy, hit me.
I think Old Trafford, the
That's
Oval.
why you picked Chris Schofield all those years ago.
57 for 2 here at Canterbury. was surprised they didn't pick him and play him was on those 3 pitches in the Caribbean. 58 for 2 after 9.
Yeah, wholeheartedly concur there. My word, they were, well, the first 2, not so much the third. The third one in Grenada actually was a little different, but the first 2 in Antigua and Barbados were crying out for either a second spinner and or a wrist spinner.
How's the win? Hi, sir. Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
Turn in that graph from about the halfway mark.
Down, Jacko, you, Jacko. Stumps, please, Joey.
It was because of this man bowling, leaning. 10 of the last 10 overs.
I've got grip there. Wicket. Riley, on the wicket. That's it behind. Middle and off.
Will he be tempted with the shorter leg side boundary? Riley Rousseau. Looking in that direction. Kent have 3 men out there. It's going to be a wide. Temptation here as a spinner is to chuck it up outside off as a seamer would, to hide it from the leg side, but actually that opens up angles from outside off. You can bring the slog sweep into play in front of square. Goes reverse. Can he get it through? No. Good fielding. Pressure building here. Couple of dots. Rousseau wants to do something dramatic to get the spinner away. And another dot. Crowd getting involved, clapping every dot. Very good from Jack Leaning. Just after the innings, he's come on and bowled a super first over. Halfway through this run chase, 62 for 2.
Right hand on strike. How's the win? Hi, sir. Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
D2 now 63 for 2. Somerset in pursuit. The defeated finalists. Rate has gone up above 10 runs per over. Worry too much about that in this modern era of cricket. 100 from 59 balls. Rousseau 20 from 19 without really finding the middle of the bat. Abel similar, 10 from 10. Whereas it was the seamers and the new ball in the power play that did the damage for Somerset. Spinners have just been difficult to get away here in the middle. Until now. What a shot that is from Riley Rousseau. Glorious stroke over extra cover.
Well, that's why when you say 10 runs and over needed, they don't worry about that. Well, they don't, because they can play slots like this. My goodness, straight away, up and over extra cover. Dropped in the crowd, I think, or was it fumbled? And then held. Heck of a shot, that's for sure.
Bowling. Case brilliant. Back it up, back it up. No!
Comparison will give Somerset supporters heart. 70 for 2 as compared with Kent's 57 for 4. 110 runs were scored by the Kent Bats in the last 10 overs, and mainly from leaning.
Down.
Slider from Kais Ahmed is swept fine of the man out a deep backward square leg. It's a second boundary in the over. Things are starting to tick again for Somerset. Smidgen of turn, final ball of the over. 13 runs from it, 75 for 2 from 11, 88 needed from 54. Another match going on tonight in the Blasters. In the North Group, Worcestershire Rapids made 172 for 9 from their 20 overs. 61 from Jack Haynes, 3 for 31 for Jordan Thompson. Yorkshire Vikings chase it down easily. Harry Brook, man of the moment, scintillating form in the Red Bull game, has carried that over into the T20 stuff. 175 for 3.
How's the win? Hi, sir. Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
He has had quite some summer.
Some player.
Yeah.
He's made his debut now for England in the T20 team. Albeit he was quite a long way out of what you'd figure his ideal position might be in that format. Batting down at 6 and 7 in the finisher role. He's a high quality player in all formats. NASA was talking about the likes of Rohit and KL Rahul who are able to transfer their form between formats. Seems as though Harry Brook has the ability to do that too.
Hit me! Yes, Mel.
Not sure he's going to play the test, do you? But the problem with that is you sort of want to pick these guys when they're in nick, and he is in the form of his life. Leaning, he's had a couple of false starts in this over. I think the ball's just not feeling right in his hand. It's a little bit damp, or there's some moisture on the seam.
Good fielding out there. To be very quick to the ball, and the throw wasn't a great one, but the key was that he got rid of it quickly. That was enough to spook the batters from coming back for a second.
Oh!
Almost.
Yeah, nearly got underneath him, didn't it? Beady eye of Riley Rousseau, managed to get something on that and get it away for one. Good over though from Leaning. He's having quite a night.
Oh, that's clever. Good from Tom Abel. Just had the presence of mind to draw the pad inside the line of that ball. Swept hard, swept square, and swept for 4. The wide was costly, 84 for 2.
Yeah, the extra ball was costly. Fantastic sweep shot though from Tom Abel. Raced up the hill, right out of the middle of the bat.
How's the win? Hi, sir. Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
For South Africa.
Oh, Georgie, love that. No, stay.
Abel is looking leg side. The ball's going to be turning away from him, but Linda's trying to turn it away from him up the hill. So if he does go leg side, he's hitting to a smaller boundary. If there is any breeze, it'll be helping it go that way.
Catch!
Ain't going to get it leg side from that line, though.
Feel as though chasing side should have things under control from here. Still plenty of batting to come for Somerset. And has been creamed. Rousseau hit that extremely hard, wide of mid-off.
He's incredibly powerful if the ball is in that sort of area. He's given himself a little bit of room to free his arms offside, but such power. That has raced away. A fielder only had to go, what, 6 or 7 yards, couldn't make it.
Oh!
Michael Atherton was ruminating on the fact that he looks a bit like Mitch Santner, Kiwi left arm spinner, in his bowling action.
One. Back it up! Back it, move!
I reckon that's a pretty good one. Mr. Atherton, 13 gone, 91 for 2.
Well, make your mind up at home. George Linda with a hint of Mitch Sanders in there. Front arm bit. I'm with you, Ath. I see what you're talking.
Change your bowling. Right up over.
Matt Milnes, is this a little bit of a throw of the dice from Sam Billings? Partnership now is 46 from 38. He needs a breakthrough. The man who looks most likely at all times in a Kent shirt is Matt Milnes. 2 overs, 1 for 9 so far. Needs a breakthrough, he needs it quickly.
How's the win? Hi, sir. Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
Block it out for a maiden, but maybe bat sensibly. These overs are priceless, aren't they? They just tick away.
Rousseau has seen it all, in all parts of the world. 37 now from 32, sort of run chase that he's seen many times before. Last time, of course, we'd have seen him in England in the Blast, would have been for Hampshire. 50 partnership up, just 41 deliveries. I've said it before, Somerset have this chase under control. We've all seen enough T20 cricket to know that a wicket or two and that can turn on his head very quickly.
Well, there was a marginal call a little earlier on height.
Oh, I didn't think that one was marginal. The one before.
No.
This one maybe. Okay, that one's a wide as well.
Yeah. Bowler and umpire taking evasive action. Stumps splayed. It's extremely hard.
Nice piece of footwork from Tim Robinson, though. Something of the Matrix in that. Oh boy, that's magnificent. So good from Riley Rousseau. Milne's back to take a wicket, but he's been taken for 10. 101 for 2.
How's the win? Hi, sir! Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
As that graphic shows, the acceleration that came into the end of the innings. Kent batted, and that's been whipped away down the slope. So, as I mentioned earlier, 110 came from the last 10. But at the moment, Somerset have it under control.
It certainly seems that the last 25 overs or so have been much more straightforward for batting than the first 10. Just a little one for you Laws hounds out there, I should say. Point of order, the overhead height bouncers would be called no ball in this comp. Delivery. No ball for overhead height, not wide. No free hit. That's good work. That's really good work. Jordan Cox.
He's the live wire in the field, isn't he? Jordan Cox. I thought for a minute he'd messed it up a wee bit. Made great ground towards the ball. Oh, he did, and then, oh, that's brilliant. I think they're just going to check where the ball was touching left hand when his right hand went onto the sponge. Oh, they seem happy. Brilliant.
Oh, Bell Drummond. Was that the chance?
Just didn't quite have the hang time. Maybe slightly mistimed the jump. Did he maximise his leap? Oh, no. Probably wasn't to do with how high he jumped. He just hit the wrong part of the hand.
Difficulty when you're looking skyward and the ground is falling away underneath you, to judge exactly where the strike of the foot is in order to get maximum elevation. Saw Tom Abel have a difficulty with that running towards us here in the pod in the first half of the game.
Yeah, brilliant, mate, brilliant.
That one's going to be called a wide. Sam Billings doesn't like it. Things are getting desperate out there now for the reigning champs.
How's the win? Hi, sir! Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
It's been a splendid half century from Riley Russo. It's come in 41 balls with 4 fours and a 6. And the equation is Somerset need 55 from the last 5 overs. So with 8 wickets in hand and a man set, and Tom Abel going well, playing a good supporting role, you'd think that Somerset ought to have this chase under control. Lots can happen, things can change quickly. Here's Grant Stewart now with his last over, attempting to do just that. He's been really punishing through the offside, through the extra cover area in particular, Riley Russo. Across his stumps this time, looking to open up that short leg side, and they'll shuffle back for 2.
Yeah, he's a very experienced cricketer. He'll be trying to work out, shall I stick with my strength, which is obviously extra cover, cover point, wide mid-off, or do I go for the shorter boundary? He's got so many boundaries, just drilling it through that offside, but the tempter is there on the leg side.
Obviously a fair bit of dew falling. Grant Stewart just drying the ball in the folds of his shirt. Just looking actually, Nass, over at deep mid-wicket. Jordan Cox is there, obviously a key fielder. He's got to go to the other side as well. It's a long chase.
That would take you a week, wouldn't it, to get from deep mid-wicket to deep mid-wicket?
Huge expanse that Jordan Cox is covering. That's because he's so good, he's so quick. Tim Robinson just waiting to see the result, but wide is given, rightly so.
It's dew coming down. Interesting decision at the toss, really. Just T20 cricket, you usually like chasing. The stats probably say, not here at Canterbury, but in general, to chase, but dew coming down may just skid on a bit nicer for the batters. Fielders struggling to grip it. Bowlers struggling to grip it.
Yeah, at the end of his mark, Grant Stewart's been noticeably desperately trying to dry this ball in his shirt. He's doing it again there, as you can see, which suggests how much dampness there is on the turf at the moment. This was the strength last year, though, wasn't it? Batting first and winning here.
Yeah, that's what I meant really with Canterbury. The strength here is to bat first, but in general, there's dew around. You don't want to be bowling and slip sliding around with a wet ball. 6-2 last year in favour of the side batting first here at Canterbury.
So it's an earlier start this year, isn't it? The competition is a little earlier than it was last year. It's quite a cool evening still at the end of May. June was the first game last year, so a fortnight earlier the competition this time around. It's because they're thinking of the test matches and all the debate, criticism really that was flying around last year when there was absolutely no first-class cricket ahead and the run into the test matches. They've tried to create some first-class cricket this year, but nothing is ever ideal. Got a couple of first-class games just plonked in the middle of the blast now, and that's quite tough for players to move from format to format, so there are always compromises to be made when you're trying to cram 4 formats into a relatively short period of time. Sweetly hit down the ground, 1 bounce 4, as sweet as you like.
Debating whether it should go offside, leg side, he just went, right, I'm going to belt it straight back over your head. 6 foot away from a 6. He is a really good player, Riley Russo. A well-travelled player, had a great PSL a few months back. He looks in good nick. He looks a very good signing for Somerset. Playing at that ground at Taunton as well, he's going to score a lot of runs.
Yeah, that was probably 6 at Taunton. Slightly smaller ground, shorter boundaries than here at Canterbury. It's Cox coming around, that fleet of foot, and does well. Prevents a 4, 2 taken. It's 120 for 2 with 4 overs remaining. And a ball.
And 1 ball. It was a great throw to a break there, but there's still a ball to go.
We're rusty. We've been off air for about 8 months.
That's after your Schofield dig from earlier.
Pulled away, where George Linder at long on comes around, won't prevent the second, the scamper back for 2, that's good running, and that does end the 16th, 122 for 2.
Really good cricket, that, I have to say. It just shows the standards of white ball cricket nowadays. It was a decent delivery, really good powerful shot, athletic fielding, and excellent running as well. Good cricket all round.
How's the win? Hi, sir. Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
There's only bowled the 1 over, so those are his options remaining. Looks like it's going to be Case Ahmed to bowl the 17th. Once he gets himself right, takes the sweater off, gets his headband ready to go.
Yeah, I reckon you're 2 overs at like gold dust for Billings. The Klassen's over and Milnes is 1 over. You don't want to leave them too late when the game's done and dusted. Maybe 18 and 19.
It's got a nice change of pace. Case Ahmed, you were talking earlier, Nas, when he first came onto bowl about how leg spinners drive the ball into the surface. He does have the ability actually to hold the odd ball back. His general pace is quite sharp through the air. Lovely flick of the wrist.
Just going to have a check, but I don't think Abel either lifted or dragged. We shall have a look. Firstly, not a no ball. Good to see the non-striker not sneaking a yard or 2 as well. And Abel didn't drag or lift.
Just placed really. It's a long boundary out there. He'll come back for 2. That's all he was looking for.
It's a good shot that though, because that fielder out there is very square, probably because Abel plays the reverse sweep, so they've got to have him square to cover the reverse sweep. Means you can go up and over extra cover. There's room out there.
Sweeps this time and sweeps hard. He's picked the length beautifully. He's hit it well in front of square between long on and deep mid-wicket, and that went like a rocket to the fence.
And it was quite full as well, you see. He picked the length well. In the end, it ended up quite full, and he had to get that bottom hand through it. And he did. Brilliant slog sweep. Nailed it.
It's a problem for the bowler when the ball before he eases you over extra cover. And a firm slog sweep. He's obviously got plenty of options. Abel, and the pressure now on Case Ahmed. Full toss, swept away for 6 to the short side. Wasn't a good ball. Got the treatment it deserved.
Well, there was a lot of debate before this over who was going to bowl it. Case Ahmed had his cap on, his cap off. In the end, he did bowl it, and he's gone for 2, 4, and 6 in 3 of the 4 deliveries.
Tried to bowl it quickly, get it under Abel's bat as he looked to sweep the ball away into the leg side. That young man, no guessing where his allegiance lies. So it's a good over, 246 so far, and that required rate now just well below 10 and over, which is really where it's been hovering for the last half dozen overs or so. And with 8 wickets in hand, this really ought to be a breeze for Somerset.
Bold, brilliant. Yeah, hit me, Jacko.
Long way out there, and they must have been tempted to go on the throw, but in the end decided against. Very cute over the keeper's head. We'll come back for a second. That's a good productive over from Somerset. 15 from it, 3 left, 137 for 2.
Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
And then in 26 from the last 3 overs. Plenty of wickets in hand, 2 batsmen going beautifully at the crease. Riley Russo is 63 from 47 and Tom Abel 37 from 23. The two have put on 92 in just 65 balls. And therefore time for Matt Milnes. Last throw of the dice for Kent. It's a misfield, and will not just be a 2 but a 4 as well. The dew falling, it's slippy out there, and that's been costly for Zach Crawley and for Kent.
Yeah, the dew and the net wickets as well. Just those net wickets in front of the pavilion. And he just gets on the edge of one of them. Dew on the side of those boots. And his right leg just gives way.
We've got a posse of American fans at the back of the pod, Nas, who are watching their first ever game of cricket. What do you reckon, lads? Where are you from? From Cleveland, Ohio, enjoying their first ever game of cricket.
When you say a posse, there's 2.
fans of the Cleveland Guardians. Smeared away leg side, it's a short boundary, but Riley Russo is a strong man. He's hitting the ball beautifully tonight. He moves to 69 with his second six.
And that's the 100 partnership as well. Riley Russo now with his highest blast score. A couple of 60s for Hampshire, 69 not out for Somerset. And Somerset run a ball required now, 15 from just 15. Easy as you like, 100 partnership, that hardly a risk involved. 103 in just 68 deliveries.
Well, it's been a tough night for Ken, starting their defence of the Vitality Blast trophy that they won so spectacularly at the back end of the season last year at Edgbaston. Struggled at the start with the bat. Pitch looked tricky for the first power play period. Ball kept a little low, darted a bit off the seam. They were always on the back foot. Progressed well after that to set a reasonably challenging total, but this partnership has been a killer one for them, really. And Riley Russo is 70 from 49 balls, is playing the innings of the match.
Yeah, and I might be wrong, but he doesn't strike me as someone that just wants to knock it for ones and two. I reckon he wants to finish it in style. Big, strong man, he wants to get this game done and dusted.
Sweetly hit again. Mid-off, Zach Crawley is up inside the circle, and he knew that and really just timed it. He wasn't trying to hit it too hard. He knew exactly where the boundary option was. He moves to 74, 154 for two.
Yeah, smart batting. Mid-off had come up into the ring, and he just had to chip him. Amazing how much, when you just do a little controlled shot like that, you get value, get distance. You don't overhit, you just use your timing. Brilliant innings, brilliant partnership from these two.
Yeah, it is. It's 109 from 71 balls. It has just snuffed any hope Kent had of getting anything from this game. Snuffed it out. Billings is making some late changes, late adjustments. He's brought back George Linder for his second over, and he's making multiple changes to the field, but it all feels like a lost cause now for the home team. 9 from 12 is the equation. Lovely shot from Tom Abel, who's looked in terrific touch actually tonight. Talked a lot about the power and strength of Russo, but it's been an excellent innings from the Somerset captain as well.
Yeah, and that was the point I was making in the previous over about that man on the sweep having to be so far for the reverse. Abel just said, I'll knock it with that back foot punch past extra, and I'll take three. Just manoeuvring the field.
One big hit away.
Come on then, Georgie, come on.
So many games, of course, in the group stages, a defeat is not disastrous, not the way Kent would want to get their defence up and running, but it's certainly not disastrous. There's a lot of time left yet in the competition.
Come on, Georgie, come on, Georgie.
Well, it's usually a tempter, isn't it? Ball spinning into the bat, left arm spinner to left-handed batter. The matchup doesn't favour the bowler, especially with a slippery white kookaburra.
say, he looks like the type not to want to knock it around and finish the
I hit a 4 after I said that.
On one, please, Joey.
Every batsman loves a red inker, and none more so than you.
Come on, Riley. Finish it in style. Shut Atherton up. Come on.
Up you come. Bid off, please. 162, 162. Okay, 2 spin. No, you're back, you're back. Jackie up, please.
Quiet the crowd. There was just a time when Jack Leaning was going, when it got raucous here at Canterbury, but last half hour or so the realisation has dawned that Somerset are going to walk away with a facile win here. Excellent bit of fielding. One away now, Somerset.
Yeah, very good bit of fielding, and he just gets in with the dive. Scores are level. 1 over to go.
How's the win? Aye, sir. Bring your skills, answer the questions, win big.
This game